Nashville. You already know every podcast is brought to you by Samsung Dental in San Francisco and Axum Group out there in Dubai. You need your executive protection, your AI, high-end security at us. Derek Cash Co. in the middle of nowhere handling business, but we had to get this one going for you guys.
Speechless. Honestly, speechless.
Dog, talk to me. Talk to me. I saw you texting me, and I like, let me hop on the treadmill and watch the whole card. So I just hopped on the treadmill 2 hours, binged the card.
Let's just get right to it.
Hey,
We have
hold on.
Asim
You want to?
Imavov.
You let me tell you something scary, crazy first. When this fight got made, I had a bad feeling about it for Israel and him.
Damn.
I had a bad feeling, dog. But go on. What happened, D?
Yeah, so UFC Fight Night, Saudi Arabia, Nasruddin Imavov versus Israel Adesanya, the number 5 ranked middleweight in the UFC versus the number 2 contender. 2 rounds. That's all it took. 2 rounds. Israel Adesanya gets knocked the butt out in the first minute and a half of the second round.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
dog. uh,
Dude, I hate to say this, so I'm going to make sure I say it the right way. I feel like he needs to go to another gym. And I don't mean I'm a loyalist. You know me a long time. So I don't like when people are a nobody, quote unquote. A coach turns them to a somebody and they leave. So I don't mean it that way. But I do believe that you could do it the right way, which is keep the person who was there with you as nothing as your home base when you don't have a fight coming up. But when you have a fight coming up, go somewhere else because it was weird watching that fight play out. I'll tell you why I had a bad feeling about the fight, right? I was like, okay, it's another striker. I looked at Imavov, however the hell you say his last name. I looked at him as the more durable guy. So I was like, let me give a point over there. And then I looked at Izzy as the faster guy overall. But when you look at Nasruddin, he's faster from being out to in. If you
yeah,
look at his previous fights. So with me being Dom Rogan, I looked at it like, what would I tell my guy if my guy had that skill fighting Izzy? And when I look at Izzy, and this is why I say he should go to somewhere else because they're not fixing things. One thing I would do with Izzy if I was his coach, he's very tall and he has no Muay Thai clinch game because he comes from kickboxing. I would just send him to Thailand specifically to work. He has the money to where he can pay somebody and say, help me work my clinch only, and they can do it. To have no inside clinch game with that type of height and kickboxing background is a travesty. It's so bad for his style that he's missing that part of the game. And if you look, he tried it a few times and he just doesn't know what to do with it. And I would have him at that. But the reason why I felt like this fight wasn't good because Izzy, if you look at, he has three things that he's never gotten rid of. His motion is back, 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 and only when he touches the cage will he go left or right. He's never gotten rid of that issue. He jabs low, too low, and if you even have a semblance of a boxing background, you know the counter to a lazy jab or a low jab is an overhand right, and he relies on his speed try to cover to try to mask the flow of the jab that it starts low and ends low, right? But but work when somebody is faster than you getting in. And then the other thing that I don't like is he relies on rather than his defense, it's another flaw to it. He does that thing tall people do, where his defense is to make himself taller by leaning back. So I was looking at this fight, I was like, you have a guy whose main thing is getting in fast, and you have a guy who backs straight up with his left hand low and his chin up in the air. And I was like, that can easily end bad because Nasruddin has zoomed in on people before. Lo and behold, dude,
That's
low and
exactly how it out.
behold.
Oh man,
I
I
didn't
knew it
think it
was
was gonna
bad.
that fast though, dude. I thought it would be more competitive, and then maybe he would happen to get caught when he was tired or something. But
How
he got
I knew that
on
this was
flaws.
like how I knew it was gonna get ended was from that first round when every time that Imavov would come in close and do his combo 2-3 3-2, all Izzy would do is just back up and
Mm-hmm.
maybe do a check kick, not even use his hands. And whenever anytime Imavov got in close, you saw Izzy, all he did was just try to parry, put his hands out, but not even with his hands, with his guard up. It's just
Mm-hmm.
hands out like this. And that's how he got knocked out. He was trying to parry with both hands, which you never do.
Yes.
Got caught right there, right on the side of his head.
Well, let me tell you something. So this is probably from doing kickboxing and not enough Muay Thai also, right? So in Muay Thai, there's it's called a post, like this, right? But the thing with the post, I taught this to James Chaney. Shout out James, Dr. Jekyll James Chaney, Ultimate Fighter 16. You know, my boy, I taught him that a long time ago. And he started overusing it and using it incorrectly. And I was like, I'm going to show you an example. And 5'9", James is like 6'2", so much taller. And he felt it worked good for him. And then I started tagging him with the overhand right. And he was like, how the hell are you even posted out? You're getting me. And what I showed him about that post is this. Number one, it has to be to the level of your shoulder, protecting your chin. If it starts to go down like this, where it's at a downward angle and is not protecting your chin, it has now become a liability, not a help. That's number one. Number two, when you post, the person should be at the end of your hand. If you try to post and they're getting up to you, like they're passing by your wrist or anything else, it has now become a liability. And Izzy, number one, he posts not lined up with his chin. Two, he lifts his chin as he posts. He can't even see the punch coming. Three, the guy is past the post. You know what I mean? And four, he does it with two hands when it's always supposed to be one with the other hand guarding the opposite. It was the thing is
It
he
was just a combination of bad mistakes,
yeah,
bad
but
decisions.
it's not like the guy has a lot to fix. He needs a Muay Thai clinch. He needs to learn how to go back. I was taught by Virgil Hunter and by the Mayweathers, you should never go more than two steps back before you cut an angle, right? He needs to have somebody work on his lateral movement, keeping his chin down. You know, the low jab is a good jab. Tommy Hearns used it all the time, but if you're gonna use, you have to learn the weaknesses to it as well as the strengths, and then he needs to learn how to also defend with hands up. And the other thing I do not like is I have an obsession with southpaws. I was always like, man, I wish I was a southpaw. They have so much many advantages. And I remember Roger Mayweather told me, he said, it doesn't matter if the right-hander has perfected being right-handed better than the southpaw's perfected being southpaw, then that's going to be the better fighter. And now it's who's adapted to the opposite style more. And he was like, you should never try to practice both styles till you have perfected or near perfected your dominant hand. And Izzy has too many consistent flaws as a right-hander to ever be going southpaw. Because when you switch, your defense goes down even more. And I'm like, dude, remember when Sean Strickland fought him and he said he is not as tricky as you think?
Yeah.
That's what was going through my mind after this fight. I was like, dude, people are just adapting to him. Nothing's changing, and being my fellow African, I hate seeing it happen to him, but dude, it's crazy. It was crazy.
I mean, at this point, what's next for Izzy?
What do you think? You tell us. You tell us. What is next?
Uh Man, I mean, so for the first times in a long time, Izzy's gonna fall outside of the top 5.
Hmm.
Who else can he fight? I saw Marvin Vittori call him out on Twitter. I'm like,
I can't
he's not even
stand.
close.
All he do is
He's
bother
not
people.
close.
He just bothers people.
I think at this point, Izzy has become that gatekeeper role. Like, I think this was probably his last real chance to get back to.
Wait. Let me stop you. Okay. Why? Let's go through the top. Let's be real. Let's break it down and see if he is a gatekeeper. Hamzat. Do you feel he beats Hamzat? Yes or no?
No,
I feel no. Do you feel he beats
Bobby
DDP?
Knuckles,
Do you feel
Rob.
he beats DDP?
No,
Me neither. Do you feel he beats Strickland?
it'll be close, but no.
Me neither. Bobby Knuckles.
That is really close.
I think he has Rob's number.
He has Rob's number considering he's fought him so many times, but
Yeah,
like
I think he beats him.
Rob
So
is still
so we
that.
got three he doesn't, one he does. Cannoneer.
No, he's done.
You Cannoneer beats him.
No, Cannonier's done.
Oh yeah, I think he beats Cannoneer. Vittori, I think he beats Vittori. Who else do we have in those top middleweights?
Paulo Costa.
I think Paulo Costa, if he fights him the way he normally fights, just going forward and not giving a damn, I think he beats Izzy. If he's back being technical, he loses. So I'm 50-50 on that one.
Yeah. I mean, those
Who
are really the only middleweights that are kind of in the conversation for contenders these days.
So he beats about half of them. We got him 4-4 on that. So maybe he is like the middleman. Oh
What
no,
I'm saying, man,
no, he the middleman, dog.
it's just sad seeing the chin go because ever since after like, I think I was thinking about this for a while now. It's like ever since he lost to Pereira the first time is when we see the kind of decline of Israel Adesanya.
See, I don't think it's the chin because like people say this thing like, oh, the chin goes, like my buddy Chuck Liddell, shout out Chuck.
The chin goes,
Check.
and
What I think it is, I remember when Chuck Liddell, who had an indestructible chin, and I'm friends with Chuck, so it was sad to see it. It wasn't, if you study physiology and stuff, it's not that the chin can go. When you look at it, Chuck, if you go check his record, you could go check this, it's a fact. When he was getting knocked out, his turnaround times were way too soon. He was fighting again within 6 months. So guess what? Let's just say he took a month off or something now, or 2 months. Now he has a fight coming up. He's going to be sparring. The brain isn't healed, and then you're still taking damage to the brain. But when you go to the fight, you're going to the fight with a brain that's still damaged and now is ready to shut off
right,
easy. So I don't believe the chin can go. I think that people don't take the. I will tell you, the only person, and I've been in this a long time, I could recall off a recent memory that's ever done it was Justin Gaethje. When he, after Max knocked him out, he was like, dude, I'm taking like a year off. It's smart. It's a long time, but you need the time. And I think with Izzy, I don't even think that is that. I think it's just you. It's a known thing in combat sports, dog. You can't take a punch with your chin in the air. He's always like you can't take the punch. Your neck isn't braced made for that. And if you look at it, when Strickland caught him, he was against the cage with his head up. This time, he was out in the open like this with his head up. I think it's just his technical deficiencies. You know what I mean? That's what I really, because he looked good in that DDP fight to me. And
Yeah.
if you think about it, he took better shots in that one than this. It's just if you catch him slipping in them flaws, you will get him.
Hmm.
And he has to fix it. He has to fix a few. I think if he fixed those few things, his game would change up.
Yeah.
Stay orthodox, guard up, mix a normal jab with the low jab. The jab goes back to the face, lateral movement, and when he's against the cage, he always does this shit and tries to swing back at you with the chin up. Dude, you can go forward. Like I teach you guys, lock up. Use a Muay Thai clinch or something. If he fixed those few things, I think he could get back on top. But
Like, to go back into history, like, just look at a fight that he had with Kelvin Gastelum, man. Like, he was taking shots too, but back in the day, he wasn't. His hands are up. His hands are sometimes down, but his chin was still down. He wasn't looking up in the air.
yeah, it's like it got worse over time. Uh, I don't know. I guess we're gonna see. So where does Nasruddin go next?
We'll see what happens next week. Next weekend is Dricus Duplessis versus Strickland for the title.
Well, they said Hamzat gets shot of the winner already.
Hamzat gets that shot, so that means whenever Bobby Knuckles comes back,
So
Nasser.
now they'll probably have to fight somebody like Bobby Knuckles in the time. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be a cool fight. But I think Bobby Knuckles got that one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but he literally. There's only very few people that could beat that guy. You know, and like there's very few people that I think Hamzat and Indy are like some of the only people. I think he would even do pretty well against DDP again. I think he would do better than the first time.
Yeah.
But I, I don't know. I know you're in the middle of nowhere. We had a quick one. Let them know where they can reach you on social media.
Yeah, so right now I'm still not really on social media all that much, but if you want to see us, come to Open Mat Academy out in Tracy, California. Catch us there. Goon Squad MMA. We got some things lined up.
Yeah, we gotta get you back in there, man.
Man, this shoulder, dog, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to see the doctor on Tuesday, so we'll see what happens.
All right, let me know. And you already know Fallen Angel 510 on IG. You can find everything there. So tap in, like, follow, subscribe, turn notifications, all that. Let us know what you want to talk about. And we are out.